Friday Night Lights, sponsored by Jack in the Box.
Hey there! The series of interstate battles continues with a pair of clashes, and a late season rivalry comes around earlier this time. Thank you so much for joining us for week number 4 of Friday Night Lights. I'm Alex Cheney.
And I'm Rob Fram. Crosstown rivals Gila Ridge and Cibola crossing paths tonight, not only for bragging rights between the two programs, but also for potential momentum going into the mid-season.
The Raiders are counting on dangerous playmakers Gabriel Claudio, Miguel Alvarado, and Mark Walton to keep stepping up, while the Hawks may have the advantage in the trenches. It all comes down to this week's marquee matchup. Any way you slice it, a great game between the Hawks and the Raiders, as the Raiders will head onto the field for Patriot Night at Cibola High School, and this fan, he's ready to go. First drive here for the Raiders. Curtis Wolf is going to drop back and loft one up for Gabriel Claudio, who's going to make a great grab on the sideline. Just one touchdown of several for him tonight. Wolf back to the air now. A little screen pass to Jesus Romero goes for a lot of yards, as the young man will just not go down. Takes that into the end zone. Just part of 100 yards of offense for him in the first half. Darion Taylor goes to the air, and he would find Ty DeHart for the nice pickup here. Gila Ridge would have problems offensively getting going tonight. On the other hand, Cibola's Jesus Romero just keeps chugging away. Get off of me! Goes into the end zone for the great touchdown and right into my camera, so that was neat. Gila Ridge is going to get back on the ball now. Hands it off to Chase Moreland, who's going to have a great carry, but the ball pops out. It gets bumbled. Miguel Alvarado is going to take this thing the other way. And as every coach tells you, defense wins championships, and defense turns right into offense here, as Curtis Wolf with a fantastic throw to Miguel Alvarado, who just had the interception. Great play from him tonight. Gila Ridge trying to make something happen here at the end of the first half. Taylor's throw to Les Mears would be complete for the Gila Ridge first down, but the drive would eventually sputter out. Cibola wins 52-7.
Well, this next matchup is certainly at marquee caliber, as we have a battle of unbeatens between Kofa and Southwest. What's also intriguing is that the Kings are fueled by their staunch defense that's only given up 13 points overall, while Southwest, led by Super Juniors Cameron Youngers, Tyler Sycon, and Justin Cordova, are racking in an average 35 points a game. So something's got to give in this classic defense versus offense matchup between the Kings and the Eagles. So Kofa getting the rock early, trying to get started. Gabriel Castaneda goes around the edge, but stopped for a minimal gain. Then enter his brother David Castaneda, making a little headway and getting a decent 5-yard rush as well. But that's as good as it got for Kofa. Southwest getting the rock back. Justin Cordova on the inside run, getting some pretty good yardage there. Then Cordova trying for more, but gets stopped by Juan Marin of Kofa. Kings trying to resist, but the Eagles would begin to break loose. Cameron Youngers, the quarterback, gashes the King defense for a cool 20 yards. And then the third part of the three-headed monster, Tyler Sycon, is off to the races. Pay dirt from 15 yards out. The Eagles winning a rout, 55-0. Meanwhile, Yuma Criminals and Brawley Wildcats each trying to bounce back from their respective tough losses last week. Wildcats, George Mickle takes it to the outside and battles his way for the pylon. It looks like he's going to get in, but he was out just before he actually got there. No problem, says quarterback A.J. Grijalva, taking the option keeper into the end zone. Cats up on the Crims early. Yuma's next possession would stall, and so would their punt, as the Cats partially block it. And of course, they get great field position as a result. So, with that being said, Cats trying to go pay dirt. Grijalva on the rollout, but the potential deep ball touchdown pass is going to get dropped. Oh no, Johnny Marquez, you got to hold on to the rock, son. But the Cats would keep rolling. Grijalva tosses a screen pass to Austin Gutierrez for a minimal gain, although he had a lot of great gains tonight. On Yuma's next possession, Alex Guerra getting swarmed by that tough Brawley D before he can even get anything going. Brawley would swarm over Yuma tonight, 61-7. Well, the two interstate games tonight, as of last week, Gila Ridge, or rather the Gila Valley, had a 2-game edge on the Imperial Valley. But with the dominant wins by Southwest and Brawley, that gap is gone, baby, gone. Both Imperial Valley and Gila Valley stand at 4-4 overall, with still 3 weeks of interstate battles left to go.
3 down, 4 more highlights to go, including a duo of home openers, including the Holtville Vikings trying to bounce back from last week's setback.
And the Central Spartans also seeking some redemption after 2 tough area Yuma losses. We'll bring you those highlights and more right after this.
You're watching Friday Night Lights on KYMA!
Now back to more Friday Night Lights, sponsored by Jack in the Box.
Welcome back, everybody. The Central Spartans are off to a slow start to the season, dropping 2 road games against Kofa and Gila Ridge.
In each of those games, Alex, their offense hasn't done them any favors, as Ricky Guzman and company were only to amass 13 points overall in those 2 games.
Even though they play their first home game tonight, the bad news is tonight's opponent scores an average of 51 points a game. Could this spell trouble for Spartan Nation? Let's go to the highlights from Central High School at Cal Jones Field as they're taking on Coachella. So would they make some beautiful music? Let's find out. Ricky Guzman's throw goes over to Gio Quinones, who would quickly take a big hit from a Coachella defender. Guzman back to the air now with a throw over to Bradley Denton. Nice pickup there, but now Coachella on the ball. Great rushing attack from Coachella all night as they would give that Central defense fits. They would test the middle and either side, as you can see here. Another big pickup for Coachella. Central having some trouble there, but now we'll see Central back on the ball as Ricky Guzman's throw is going to go incomplete over to that right side. Central would have difficulty tonight. Coachella wins 28-10. Now moving to the Imperial Valley's west side as the Hopeville Vikings also played their home opener. Fans very excited to go on this one. Early on, Desert Mirage with the ball, but Jacob Leba with a great hit, one of the best hits we've seen tonight, bringing down the Desert Mirage run. But now a QB keeper here for Desert Mirage barely goes anywhere as that Vikings defense swarms to the ball. Another play here by Desert Mirage and that Vikings defense ready to go. But now Anthony Castro is going to lift one up to John Rodriguez for a tight end. My friend moves pretty darn fast. Gets a great pickup there, and then wouldn't you know it, a few plays later, Adam Montez stepping into the end zone. Hopeville goes on to win this thing 51-0.
Well, shifting our attention now to the Yuma County's east side. The Antelope Rams continue to bear through the tough times as they're trying to end a 19-game losing streak that dates back to 2004. They would try to pull it off at home tonight against Gilbert Christian. We take you out to Antelope for the highlights with head coach Gary Maldin looking on and looking very concerned early on. Rams on defense, the over-the-top end zone pass that we're going to see right here, defended well by Tristan Guerrero. Knock it down, son. But the very next play, the Knights go back to the same spot. Angelo Esparza is going to bring down the receiver, but the touchdown's already in hand. Antelope down 7-6. Rams get the possession, but the sweep play blows up in their face as Esparza gets dragged to the ground for an 8-yard loss. Rams quarterback William Pucciani gets bull rushed and is forced to throw too early. The pass is out of Ruben Castaneda's reach. But the defense getting some good moments. Castaneda sniffs out this screen pass and gets a nice stop in the backfield. Then Anthony Brister, also with a nice little sniffer, getting the run stop. But the Rams still searching for answers, trying to get their first win. They go down, and they go down hard, 55-19. Well, believe it or not, our highlights are not yet done. San Pasqual Warriors trying to get themselves in the winning column tonight.
Plus, we have our helmet props and your Jack in the Box play of the week coming right at you next.
You're watching Friday Night Lights on KYMA!
Now back to more Friday Night Lights, sponsored by Jack in the Box.
Welcome back, everybody. After suffering a road shootout loss on their 1A West opener, the San Pasqual Warriors would look to make amends against another unbeaten team in their section. A win tonight would certainly give the Warriors a shot in the arm. Would they get it tonight? Warriors charging out on the field during introductions. San Pasqual quarterback Victor Alvarez trying to escape the pressure in the backfield, and he would do a pretty good job of it, even though he'd wind up losing a couple yards on the play. Sultan's getting the ball back, gashing the Warrior defense, but Rafael Dominguez getting the shoestring tackle on this particular play. San Pasqual getting the rock back. Frank Rodriguez under pressure, gets off the crazy little screen pass there, and then the Sultans trying to do more work here. As you can see, they get a little bit of a gain, but the Warriors defense, no quitting them, and then Frankie Rodriguez going for the crazy pass just as he's potentially getting sacked. Somehow the receiver comes down with it. Crazy catches aside, the Warriors still fall down, and they fall hard. 65-8.
Well, in case you're just joining us, let's go ahead and catch up on tonight's results. Cibola gets the big win in the marquee matchup, 52-7 over Gila Ridge. And Kofa's Cinderella story, well, clock struck midnight tonight, Rob. Southwest beats them 55-0.
Southwest could be the real deal, Alex. I mean, these guys could potentially be a threat for the IVL crown. I'm sure Brawley and Imperial are going to have a lot to say about it, but these guys are looking sharp right now.
It's the LSU jerseys, Rob. That's what made the difference.
It probably is.
Central took a tough loss against Coachella, and Hopeville with the 51-0 over Desert Mirage. What do you think?
Wow, I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah.
Maybe Hopeville's got some gas in the tank.
Yeah, I'd like to see that. As we go ahead and take a look at our second full page of our scores tonight, as we go ahead and pull those up, Brawley beating Yuma. Yuma struggling early.
They really have. I mean, Yuma, they struggled last week at home against Calexico, a team that you'd think they would beat. And then they go down tonight against Brawley, a much tougher opponent on the road. Yuma looking for answers.
Absolutely. Brawley's one heck of a football team. Antelope falls to Gilbert Christian. San Pasquale falls to Baghdad. And here's the surprising one. Seton Catholic beats Yuma Catholic.
YC had the lead in the game, but they just fell apart as the clock struck midnight and Seton Catholic comes up with it. So, Coach Cheatwood and company going to have to go back to the drawing board next week.
Absolutely. Tough break for the Rocks there. As we go ahead and take a look now at our third one, Carlsbad with a just trouncing of the Imperial Tigers, and Calexico is undefeated.
I think I'm seeing things, Alex. It's amazing. I mean, these guys didn't have a win last year. They bring in a veteran coach. He rights the ship in the offseason, and all of a sudden these guys are playing nitty-gritty football. It may not be pretty wins, but they're wins.
Hey, it's a win, man. I mean, who cares? By 1 or 100. Classical Academy goes on to beat Calipatria at Vincent Memorial, beating Maranthan. Rob, what do you think?
Well, Vincent didn't look so sharp in the first week, and
the
last 2 weeks they really picked it up. Watch out for those guys.
Absolutely. And as we go ahead and take a look at our final full page, Harvest Prep falls to Canyon State 48-0.
Eagles definitely looking to try to recalibrate their team because right now they just haven't had much going on. So hopefully they can get things started. Well, now it's time to recognize this week's outstanding players, position groups, or even the team that put everybody on notice. Alex, who's getting your helmet props done tonight?
Those LSU boys, the Southwest Eagles, Tyler Sycon, Justin Cordova, Cameron Youngers. I think I spelled that name wrong, but look at this. You have five touchdowns between these three guys, even a kick return touchdown from Justin Cordova. Rob, straight up, these guys can ball, okay? And they're making the Eagles look good.
And they're only juniors. They got another year of balling. So, I mean, not only are they a threat for the IVL crown this year, imagine what kind of damage you're going to do next year. Just saying.
Scary to think about.
Absolutely. Very scary indeed. We're going to be watching out for those guys the rest of the year and beyond. As for me, Alex, the Brawley Wildcats clinic over Yuma tonight produced two heavy hitters for the Cats. Quarterback A.J. Grijalva came through with 112 passing yards, 2 touchdown passes, and even 1 on the ground, as you saw in the highlight reel. Meanwhile, running back Austin Gutierrez, we didn't see many highlights on him, but he notched in 168 total yardage on the ground and 3 TDs to his credit as well.
And let's go ahead and take a look at week number 5 next week of Friday Night Lights, all headlined by our marquee matchup between Brawley and Cibola. Please join us.
All right, we leave you now with our Jack in the Box play of the week. This one's coming from Cibola's decimation of Gila Ridge. Curtis Wolf connecting with Miguel Alvarado.
Beautiful play.
Later, guys.